welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I am Z from My Beauty Diary Addict on Instagram, and this is my YouTube channel. For returning subscribers and viewers, welcome back and thank you for tuning in for today. For both new and returning, if you haven't already, turn the notification button on and subscribe to my channel to join the Beauty Addict squad and not miss out on future tutorials. For today's tutorial will be more on flawless foundation routine, so if you want to know how I did my makeup base, please do continue watching. For eyeshadow tutorial we did on previous video, I will link them down below and I hope you guys enjoy. What we want to achieve here is more on covering acne scars as well as large pores, so if you have skin like me, you would enjoy this. Like I said, this will be more in-depth on face tutorial, so eyeshadow I will do off camera. Just having a little fun here with my Morphe palette to post on Instagram. I'm back with the eyes done and let's go ahead with our base. You want to start off with a clean face and apply moisturizer on the face, so I'm using It Confidence in the cream, and this helps to moisturize your skin before applying any makeup. For this step, you can use any moisturizing cream that you usually use. I preferably use this It Cosmetic brand because it does help moisturize my skin because at my nose area tend to be a bit dry. Once done, just let it sit on your skin for a few minutes for it to sip in before you put any other products on. Next step, I'm going to spray a little face mist from Skin & Co Truffle Therapy. You can totally skip this step if you want. For primer, I'm going to use Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. I'm going to apply this product by lightly patting it into my skin, especially at the area where my pores seems to show more, which is at the nose area as well as my cheekbone area. And then gradually working towards the whole face. I'm starting off with my chin, my forehead, in the middle of the brows where it seems to be more textured, and then all over the face, especially at the areas where I have my acne scars. This product helped to lighten the scars. For primer, you can use any pore minimizing primer as long as it hides your pores and lighten your scars. Let it sit for a few minutes before you apply for foundation. As foundation today, I'm going to use Maybelline Fit Me Poreless Foundation in 228. For foundation application, I like to use a beauty blender. You can use any beauty blender that you have. For me, preferably, I like to use Microfiber Beauty Blender by Juno Co. It's actually Juno & Co, but anyways, you want to apply this lightly first as the first layer. So I'm gradually working from the bottom of my chin and working my way up to my forehead. For the first layer, I'm just using a thin layer of foundation, making sure that I pat this on lightly on my face, that I cover every areas, especially on the sides of the nose because it's really hard to get in there. The first layer of foundation, you want it to be light and thin. My definition of light layer is when you put it on, it looks as if it is your skin. You don't want to build the coverage just yet because when you put too much product on your face as the first layer, it will tend to get cakey. So once you build your first layer, you want to let it sit on your face for 1 or 2 minutes. And then you can build another layer for coverage. You can put it all over the face, or for me preferably, I like to put it at where I can see my scars. Once done, you want to make sure that every product is pressed into the skin with a beauty blender. This is to make sure that the foundation sits evenly on the skin. To conceal my under eye, I'm going to use Nude Sticks Crayon Concealer. This is in the color medium 4. This is to even out my tone under my eye because you can see I have a little bit of dark circles. I let the product sit for a little while onto the skin and lightly dabbing it in. I'm not being too rough on this. This helps me to get the full coverage of the product and help me with my creases. The reason why I let it sit for a while is because this product is creamy, so I let it sit so that it gets a little dry and tacky. Then when I'm blending it out, it gives me a full coverage. The next part is my favorite. I'm going to use e.l.f. 16-Hour Camel Concealer as my cream highlight. This is in the shade Medium Sand. I love this concealer, but the only thing I don't love about this is that it dries down really fast, so we're going to work one section at a time. So I'm not going to let this concealer sit. I'm going to blend it really quickly, starting from the outer corner and working my way in. See how amazing that this blends out. It looks so lovely. Although this dries quickly, you want to also take your time by blending this so that you can have a flawless, beautiful finish. See the difference between left and right? It really enlightens your face, your high points. So I'm going to move on with the next under eye. So the reason why you need to work fast with this because it tends to get patchy when it's dry, and then you don't have to add a little more. If you want to add more of coverage, you can, but make sure you dampen your sponge because it dries down really fast. So this product is super high coverage, a little goes a long the way, and it's only for like $5 on Target. I got this as from influencers, so I managed to try this out, and really it lasts me for a while. As you can see, I'm really taking my time with this, working one section at a time. With this e.l.f. concealer, it's really good. It's really super high coverage, but it does dries down really fast, and we want to avoid having patchiness, so yeah. But one thing I can say, this concealer does give the satisfaction of a flawless blending. With the extra excess of the product, I'm going to bring it up lightly onto my forehead and dabbing it there. And also don't forget to bring it down to the nose because you always want to highlight your nose. For cream contour, I'm going to use Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick. This is in the shade Shadow. So I'm using contour to manipulate how my face looks like. So I'm going to put it at my jawline, my forehead, my nose, and the side of my face to make it look much more smaller. While doing this, you want to look straight at the camera or in the mirror to see where the shadow usually will be on your face, so that would be your guideline. And make sure when you do your nose, when you contour your nose, you make sure the shadow goes straight. You don't want it to be crooked or you have a crooked nose. And then taking a buffer brush, and I buff the contour on my cheek upwards. You don't want to swipe this because you would wipe the foundation underneath. You just want to buff them. I found that this technique works better than circular motion because you won't be wiping the foundation base off. Instead, you're blending it towards the highlight that you did earlier, and it blends beautifully. I would also advise during this process, you want to take as much time with it. You need to be patient. Just buff them out because buffing does take time and a lot of process, so just take your time with this, and then make sure that you have no harsh lines. As for the forehead area, I blend it towards the hairline and then buff it downwards and make it fade towards the forehead to make it more realistic, and bring it down towards the cheekbone so that it's well blended together. As for the nose, you want to use a small buffer brush to buff this out. Make sure you don't do circular motion because everyone knows that at nose area, it's really easy to wipe the foundation off. So you want to be very careful with it. So once we've done doing cream, highlight, and contour, we want to set everything in place. I'm using Bella Pierre Banana Typing Powder to set the under eye. But before that, we must make sure that there's no creases under our eye. By doing so, we need to take the same beauty blender that we used to blend out under the eye, and we're going to dab lightly under the eye just to make sure that we have no creases. And then just taking just a tiny bit of the translucent powder and tap it lightly under the eye. Why you need the tiniest bit amount of product is because if you use too much, you will make your under eyes dry, and therefore you will have a lot of creases again. To set my cream highlight, I'm going to use Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Powder in the coat Banana. Using the same damp beauty sponge, I'm going to put them at the high points of my face. So this Pro Filter Powder is used to brighten the high points area, so I'm not going to put it all over the face. Then I went back to my Bella Pierre powder, and using a big brush, I'm not supposed to use a big brush, but I want to cover everything fast, so I'm just going to set them lightly all over the areas where we didn't put any Pro Filter powder. And also, please don't forget the side of your nose because that tends to come off easily if you don't set them. So let the powder bake on your face for a few minutes and then you can brush them off. You don't have to be careful while brushing this off, just brush it all over the face to make sure that your face is all set. And then going back to my face mist or your own setting spray, this can also be used as a setting spray to set my makeup, so I'm just going to spray this all over the face. So I've decided to share the lash design that I'm using today. Today I'm going to use Logan from Coffee Talk Lashes, the same lash brand that I used previously. I have a discount code for this lashes. It is Beauty Diary 20 and get 20% off everything. To bronze my face, I'm going to use Hoola bronzer as usual, and using an angled brush, I'm just going to brush this in circular motion. I'm bronzing the area where I did my cream contour. As always, bronzing, you also need to take your time to make sure you blend them nicely and beautifully. You don't want any patches as well as any harsh colors, so you want to use a light hand for this. Using a fluffy blending brush, I I'm just lightly brushing the bronzer at the nose contour area so that the nose contour does not look too harsh. So nose contour, as you all know, that it's my favorite part of makeup. I like a very sharp and small nose, but my nose is so round. But doing this method, it manipulates the picture that I have a very small and snatched nose. And then I'm going to go ahead and bake my jawline and the side of my nose using Fenty powder. This is to brighten my jawline and my nose to make it look more snatched. Wait a few minutes before we brush it off. Using a small powder brush, I'm brushing this off in circular motion. At the nose area, you want to brush over it because sometimes even when you do a light hand blending the bronzer on your nose, it tends to be harsh, so you want to lighten it just a little bit. For blush, I'm using Alamar Colorette Trio, which I got from BoxyCharm, and I choose the color Scorch Share, I think that's how it's pronounced, as my blush. And I'm putting this at the apple of my cheeks, and I also like to put blush in the middle of my nose because it gives me the summer blush. As for highlight, I'm going to use Gerard Cosmetic Star Powder in Grace. And this Grace highlight is so beautiful, it's buildable and it's not harsh looking. It makes your face look dewy in a beautiful way. Some blinding highlight looks harsh on your skin. And not to forget to put your highlight at the tip of your nose as well on the nose because you want this to look very, very snatched. For my lip, I'm using Gerard Cosmetic Lip Liner in Share, and then following the natural line of the lips, I'm just going to line this with this lip liner. I've also developed the habit of overlining my bottom and top lips. I feel like this makes it look more beautiful and full. So my advice is don't be afraid. Go overline the top and the bottom. It makes it look so much more beautiful. So with lip lining, you also want to take your very sweet time with this because you want to make sure that everything is perfect. As you can see, I'm only overlining the top, and at the side I just follow my natural line. For lipstick, I'm using Gerard Cosmetic Bullet Lipstick in the color In Between the Sheets, and I feel like this color creates a beautiful ombre lips. Before I forget, I do have a discount code with Gerard Cosmetic. It's beautyda, and you can get 30% off site-wide. I will also put their brand links down below. Please take note that these links are affiliated. So this is the finished look of my foundation routine. I hope you guys enjoy and learn a little bit from today's video. Please always remember that there are no rules in makeup, and this is a technique that I found comfortable for myself, and I hope this helps you. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Follow me on all my social medias. I will link down below. Thank you for watching, guys.